Well, Nicole, the genesis of the article is this. I've been watching along with all other Americans for the past 3 months, or the president's first 100 days in office. And every day I've been shocked and disgusted. Not all Americans have been shocked or disgusted, but many have. But many, if not most Americans, have been asking throughout these 100 days, does the president really have this power in our constitutional system to issue all of these executive orders and take all of these other actions as president of the United States? And many of those people have asked that question of me. And so as the 100 days closed, I decided that I would compile the various actions that the president had taken, in particular his signature initiatives, and catalog them and present them to the American public in this article in The Atlantic that ran today. The substantive conclusion of the article is that the President of the United States doesn't have the power under the Constitution or laws of the United States for any single one of his signature initiatives undertaken in his first 100 days. I think, and I thought of myself in writing this article as little more than a scrivener or a scribe of the president's actions and their illegality. And I just marshaled, frankly, all of the authority that's out there in the Constitution and the laws of the United States, together with the opinions of the federal courts that have rejected virtually every single initiative that he has taken in his first 100 days, at least preliminarily, if not finally. And that's why that I titled the article as I did, which is The End of the Rule of Law in America. Because when the President of the United States, from the Oval Office, is undertaking illegal initiative after illegal initiative, unconstitutional initiative after unconstitutional initiative, then we cannot say, at least for the period when he is President of the United States, that we have a government of laws, not of men. The president has presented himself as above the law. I actually say in this article with support that he regards himself as the law. And of course, that's the very antithesis of our founding, the antithesis of our Constitution, and the antithesis of everything that America stands for, Nicole.
Judge, you have incredible reach when you're on this show. I know it's like a boulder thrown in a pond. It ripples for days and days. I wonder what you do, and I ask you this because I'm sometimes in this situation. It is the most Republican thing and the most conservative thing before the time of Trump to write and say out loud everything you put in this piece. But it is viewed as anti-Trump. You are viewed as a voice against Trump. And I think that some of our work is to say, for Trump, against Trump, being for the rule of law shouldn't make you against anybody, certainly not against a sitting American president. What Trump has done is to pervert the law. We started with a story about him firing 60 years worth of nonpartisan intelligence experts. They'd worked for Democrats and Republicans their whole career. That was their plan for their lives, that no matter which political party won an American election, they would work in the intelligence community to protect America. There's a whole thing that I feel like the pro-democracy movement has seeded, that somehow you're for Trump or against Trump if you're simply articulating the rule of law. How do you push back to the center and to get a majority of Americans to understand that being for the rule of law shouldn't make you against any American politician.
Yeah, no, good question. And first off, the word that you chose is exactly correct. The president has perverted the law. He has perverted the Constitution and the laws of the United States for the past 100 days, which is to say, and your viewers should understand this, not one of his signature initiatives of 15, maybe 20, does he have support in the Constitution of the United States and the laws. I was listening to your segment just before I came on. One of his two signature initiatives is the deportation of illegal immigrants to this country. As Ms. Luttig said, the president has no authority whatsoever under the Alien Enemies Act, and every single federal court to address the issue to date has so held, with the exception, interestingly, Nicole, of the court in the Western District of Pennsylvania just yesterday afternoon. And the opinion by that judge, it was reasoned, it was long, it was thorough, but it was tortured reasoning. But in the end, Nicole, that judge relied upon Donald Trump's representation that the gang was working at the behest of the Maduro regime. So your segment just before mine completely undercut the rationale of that judge yesterday, which would mean that as of this moment, there's not a federal court in America who has upheld Donald Trump's deportation of illegal immigrants.